Hey. We are live. Game Toppers 4.0 on Kickstarter right now. This is our live question and answer session. I'm Berkey, and this is
Josiah.
And we're here to answer your questions and to talk about all the cool gamer goodness that is Game Toppers. And today we even have a really special guest. Raymond Haaken from Board Game Heaven is here. Welcome, Raymond.
Hey, hello. Hope you're doing well.
We're gonna spend some time talking to Raymond about a lot of things with his channel, Board Game Heaven. But Raymond, you're from the Netherlands, correct?
Correct.
Okay, correct. I always get it a little mixed up if it's the Netherlands or if it's Denmark or Belgium. I know you're right there, right next to Germany.
Yeah, it's all very close. Yeah.
Exactly. Raymond has been a longtime backer of Game Toppers, and he's been a really good friend of Game Toppers. He's been so gracious to, he loves our product, and I'll let him talk about that, but he's been so gracious to help us, like, while we're sleeping, to answer questions overnight because of the time zone, and then also has that European connection where he's able to field some questions to fellow Europeans. And that's just been such a blessing, and so grateful for that, Raymond. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
Well, we're going to, as we get people in the chat, Josiah will be putting those up. I didn't bring my glasses in here. But we're going to answer your questions, and we really like feedback. I'm never offended by that. Of course, we want to be cordial with one another. If you see something you don't like, let's be nice, but we'll do our best to try to solve any problems or anything of that nature. But we love the comments. We love the feedback. And if you're already a backer of Game Toppers, we'd love for you to chime in on our comment section and to tell people about your experience with Game Toppers. It's very encouraging. It also helps other people see what our product actually is, because I don't think our product translates on video or on still advertisements like it actually is in person. It's a very high quality solution that either converts your home your home dining room table into a high quality board game table, or now it has a full leg kit solution where we're actually a full-blown table or a coffee table, that type of thing. And we'd love to hear from you. We'd also like to know what you want. We're going to talk about some of these commonly asked questions, and we're going to talk about some things that we've been hearing by way of feedback, because one of our greatest desires is we want to accommodate our backers if we can. We don't always have the ability because of manufacturing limitations or logistics, things of that nature, to do things immediately, but I'm always listening. And if I can, I really do appreciate it. So with that said, I also wanted to make a small clarification point about comments. Sometimes when people make a comment on somebody else's question, it can get buried way down the chain, and we may see a notification, but sometimes it's really hard to find that. So if you don't get a direct response from us, that's because we've missed it. It's not because we want to, though. I'm really dedicated to answering every comment, every question. And so even people that are just commenting, I like to chime in and interact with people. So if you're not getting an answer, please bump it again, do it again. Just put the question up there, and I'll be happy to communicate with you. And we love that. So with that being said, let's go in and talk about some of the things that have happened. You have a quick?
Yeah, we can just go through a quick couple questions we have. So Molly says, hello from Maine.
Hello, Molly. Nice to see you.
And then Rob asks, so how long after the campaign closes will the pledge manager be, and how long will we have to complete it? I want a topper, but trying to get all the money together. That's a great question. So the campaign is going to end in the 27th of
Monday,
November?
the 27th of November.
So after the campaign ends, we'll be working on getting the pledge manager out as quickly as possible. Generally, it takes a week or two. We might be able to do better than that. It'll depend exactly on how quickly we're able to get everything out. But then we generally are going to be leaving it open until we're shipping pledges. The sooner you have your pledge in, though, especially for backers who are ordering those early bird fulfillments, the sooner that your pledge is completed, because we need it completed in order to be able to ship it. So the sooner, the better. But we will have at least a couple week period there before we start shipping the pledges that are the early birds in January. And then the pledge manager will continue to remain open. Generally, we recommend that your survey, when you get it initially, that you have at least completed that within the first couple of weeks, as that gives us the numbers we need in order to do any ordering, things like that. So,
and one of the great things about the way we've structured our campaign is you can pledge for a package, you can pledge for some individual items, but also the a la carte feature. That a la carte feature allows you to do add-ons, and you can even do packages in that. But because you've pledged in this campaign, you're going to be taking advantage of a lot of the stretch goals that we're going to talk about. You're also going to take advantage of some of the early bird opportunities where we're going to be shipping some of these early packages out. Also, we're going to be shipping some mats to the United States and Canada early. And again, though, that's part of your backer number. But because you have an a la carte pledge, that's still a backer number. So that puts you in skew. So we encourage people not to cancel their pledges because you'll lose that position. Now, currently, we're still at the beginning of the campaign, so I don't see that as being a big issue. But as the campaign grows, we still have another 32 days to go. A lot is going to evolve, and then we're going to do the very best we can to get everything out very quickly. We're telling people April on a lot of things, but we know that we feel we're going to be able to do better than that. But we want to give realistic expectations and build a little margin in case we're behind or things happen, people get sick, all kinds of things can happen. So we're just trying to build in a little fluff for all of that.
Kevin says, hello, everyone. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for joining.
And then Molly asks, any plans in the works for a light kit for the game topper, both for ambience and for ease of viewing your games?
That's such a great question. And we've talked about it quite a bit. We have several ideas for our next campaign. There's so many things in development that we can't even talk about. And a lot of them, it's just a matter of taking that time to test it well, make sure we got the right sourcing, the right quality. All of those things are very important to me, that we do that well. So we tend to not bring something to market just because it's a great idea. I want to make sure it's tested really well so that we maintain quality products that we ship out. But it's an awesome idea, and definitely something we will be doing in the future if we can make it happen. We have a couple ideas that are going to be very innovative too than what you normally just see. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for that.
And then Rob says, what is in the works for painting? I thought I saw something somewhere about an accessory for painting. I've been using half my Watson for a painting station. It's working great.
Yeah, we talked about that. We really haven't moved forward on that idea for this campaign, but we have a couple ideas going forward. Actually, one of them is for an easel that can hook on top of your rail, can sit on your table, can also hook into the rail. We just weren't able to get all of the details of the mold injection and all of those things. These smaller items, they tend to be really expensive to make. A mold for what we're talking, because of the complexity of what we were talking, it's pretty expensive. So we'd have to sell a lot of them to make it even doable. But we have some other ideas about that. So that's in development, along with some other ideas that we might be able to do some things on the line of D&D screens and other complementary accessories to the corner of the table, a painting booth, different ideas like that. So stay tuned. As we're able to, we will keep bringing innovations.
And then Rob also asks, will we be able to upgrade our pledge in the Pledge Manager at the same prices? Yes. So in the Pledge Manager, there's always the option to change your pledge level. There's certain pledges that we can allow that access to. For example, if you pledged in the campaign at the $25 a la carte level, but the pledge manager comes out and now you want to get one of the topper packages that is still available. That's the key word, they're still available, because many of our packages have quite limited quantities. And so when they're sold out, they're sold out. But if there are ones remaining in the pledge manager, yes, you can change your pledge and you could go from that a la carte pledge level to one of the topper pledges. So that will be there, and they will be at the same price as during the campaign.
And Josiah brings up a really good point about limited quantity. You know, next year we're going to be going to another big batch of aluminum production. And so right now we have a certain amount of inventory, a certain amount of product that's being manufactured, all of these different things. But this campaign, there are some items that are limited supply, like our XL leaf is in limited supply. Our walnut is in limited supply. And even the new designer art series, we can only make 48 of these currently. Now, that doesn't mean we won't be able to keep doing it going on. It just means right now for this campaign, this delivery cycle. And so if it's something that you're really looking for, I would highly recommend jump in on these early bird packages. If you want it early, jump in on the walnut. Some of these add-on accessories, we think we've done a good forecasting for mats and the bundles and a lot of that type of thing. So you can back with confidence, but there are some things that are limited. So I'd encourage you to jump in on those things.
Kevin says, a light kit is a huge opportunity, along with any other accessories that mount on top of the railing. It would be nice if you offered them without waiting until the next Kickstarter.
Yeah, I know.
We'd love to, but production development, it takes a long time.
And it's expensive. You know, people just don't understand. I get so many awesome ideas from people, and it's like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And then I start researching. Then all of a sudden I need to buy a $30,000 mold. And then it's going to take 6 months for this to be developed, tested, and proven. And then I got to pay a bunch of shipping costs to get it here. And I end up spending a ton of money before I even know I can do it. So ideas have to be really thoughtfully vetted so that we make smart decisions too, so that we can stay here for you.
And Rob says, so cool. Anyone on the fence about this, get on it. It's been so great. And Berkey is right. The videos, pictures, while plentiful, don't begin to demonstrate how wonderful these toppers are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I love it's honestly one of the things that is very encouraging to us as producers of a product is that it's very gratifying to know that we've done something that people enjoy and that's helped them. And people tell me this at conventions all the time. I've had it for 4 or 5 years and it's still just as good as when I bought it. And we never thought we could get a game table before. And now all of a sudden we have a high quality solution that's reasonably affordable for us, you know, compared to spending $5,000-$10,000 on dedicated table solutions. And just because our product is affordable, of course, it's not cheap. It's not inexpensive as far as a really low price solution, but you get what you pay for. And that's the bottom line. And I feel the pressure about some of the lower price stuff that's coming into the market. And I worry about that sometimes, but it's like, I need to make sure I keep doing something that's really high quality and that you're going to have for your life. You're going to be able to pass this stuff down. It's that good. And that's the commitment we have to making this product.
Kevin asks, if we've already pledged $25 for the a la carte and know we want to add the XL leaf, should we be adding a second pledge, or can the initial existing pledge be modified to combine the two? So that's another great question. And there's a couple different answers to that, actually. So the first option you have is to add additional funds to your pledge level to cover that cost. So when the pledge manager comes out, those funds will be as a credit that you can use to select those items. However, there is something else we've been working on that is almost ready, but Kickstarter has a feature for add-ons that you can have during the campaign. It's not something we've actually done before, so we're still working the exact details of that out. But we plan on having many of the items that are listed as add-ons in the campaign that normally we just have people wait till the pledge manager for. But we're thinking we're actually going to have those as add-ons during the campaign so that you can get those added to your pledge right away, get your items, reserved essentially. And also it helps give us just extra early information as for products and anything extra we might need to order.
It helps us also with getting a little more momentum in the campaign. We have a lot of a la carte backers, and we're so grateful. We know many of you are going to be adding map bundles and all that kind of stuff, and it's not really reflective in the total of our campaign. And so people can go, well, this is only at 115, 120,000, whatever. Well, I'm not worried about that as far as we're going to do fine. We're going to unlock a ton of stuff. And we realize that we have a lot of loyal backers, but what the algorithms with Kickstarter and marketing, things like that, they like to see that exponential growth and stuff. So this is one thing. It costs us a little more to do that, of course, because we're paying different fees, but it also helps. So normally people add to their pledge in a lot of Kickstarters for add-ons, but this new feature and how it's going to work with Backer Kit for the pledge manager to be able to maybe ask you extra questions and give you extra specials, that's what we're making sure we have all in order so that works well before we just do it. We're going to make sure that's tested well first.
James asks, can I confirm the Young Sherlock base price is the black aluminum and not the wood shown in the picture, or can I choose black in the pledge manager? Also, can I remove the legs and use it as a topper when necessary?
That's such a great question. And yes, it is shown in the oak because that's the prototype I had to do it in. But the oak is an add-on price that is also available. And so you'll see two different pledges there for the Hudson and the Lestrade. But when you pledge for one of those sizes, you're going to get an add-on upgrade to the oak option, if you like, but it will be defaulted at standard. And yes, those legs, once the corner brackets are installed in the underside of the topper, you don't have to remove those. You can just unscrew the legs, very simple. And then it can be a topper. It can be portable. You can get bags for these ones. It's for the Lestrade. We have bags for that particular one right now. So anyway, there's definitely options for portability and for storage. So Raymond, when did you actually get your game topper?
Wow. When was that again? I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Time flies. I don't actually remember, but it's certainly been at least 2 years. It was from the second Kickstarter, I think.
I think it was Game Toppers 2.0 because I think that's when I met you in Essen, and I think you actually helped us in the booth there for a few hours that one time.
I did.
Too. Got to know us a little bit, and that was really wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your experience with all that.
Yeah. So, well, before I got it, I just had your regular table, and I had it set up here in my game room, and I used to shoot all my first videos just at the living room table, and then after that, when I had the game room built, then I had a bigger table here, and I just had first I had a generic black mat that I used, or even the tablecloth before that. Didn't really have anything for real gaming, so that was all very just whatever I had. I would use, and so once I got my topper, I put that on top of the table, and that was already a huge difference. It's so convenient to have a vault to start out with, just have a vault and a mat in it, which is fantastic. It's great for all your games. It makes it so much easier to pick up your cards and stuff like that, and it just looks and it feels good. And so that was already a big difference. And the cup holders are ideal to have your drinks outside of the playing area, and no worries about that, because I can get a bit anxious about liquids on the table when you're playing a game. And so I was very happy with that. And then from then on, I started shooting all of my videos on the topper and doing all my videos. And then later I got some extra mats. And so I changed the mats around a bit thematically when I was shooting a game that was about, Star Wars or something sci-fi related, put down the space mat and stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun. And it's also fun when you invite people over to play some games and you're, playing certain games that you have planned, you can already take a mat that fits thematically, and people are always very impressed by how it looks, and they always love the look of not just the mat and the design or the art on it, but just the feel and the look of the game topper itself. It's just so convenient. It's so good. And in fact, I liked it so much that at some point I got rid of the old table and I built my own, basically my under table out of IKEA calyxes.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that as you were talking, because I think it was on our Game Toppers 3.0, you made a video and you told me about this idea, and I was like, this is brilliant. And when you actually built it, and then you showed that process, I think you made 2 videos, if I remember right. It's probably still on your channel, I bet.
Yeah, it is.
It'd be great for people to take a look at that, because it was such a great idea to get storage underneath the topper, as well as a really solid base for it. And then you have the XL, I think, too, don't you?
Yeah. I have the Holmes XL. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I did need some extra storage, because I'm a reviewer and I get a lot of games from publishers and I need space for them. And so I thought, well, I was actually stacking some games just underneath the table at the time before I built the IKEA thing. And I thought, there must be a better solution for this. So I basically took 4 smaller calyxes of 2x2 squares, basically, and I left off the top edge, the top shelf, right? So you have a bottom, you have 2 sides, you have the cross shelves in the middle. So you have 4 cubicles, and I took a large leaf of MDF wood I think it was 22 millimeters thick, and I think that's about 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
And I put that on top, and I basically I drilled the holes where normally the screws would sit from the top of the calyx shelf, and I just screwed all of them together into that big MDF leaf, which I painted white, just like the rest of the shelves. So now I have one big solid table with 2 of those calyxes in the middle next to each other and 2 at the heads of the table. So that gives me 16 more of these cubbies that can fit games, and it has a really nice and big solid tabletop, basically, from MDF to suit the game topper. So now I have this really handy game topper permanent solution, really. And I can still easily dismantle it, take off the game topper, and make it portable if I want to take it somewhere, or even get a smaller fold-out table, put it next to the table in the room here. If I need more space for more people, I can still take the topper, make a regular Holmes from the XL one, take out the leaf, put that on a foldable table, and just use the under table, basically, with a large mat. I just take an XL mat, put that on there, and then I have 2 surfaces to play on. So that's also an option. And it's just super convenient.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're going to come back and talk a little bit about what you do in the hobby and that too. We're going to go through some of our new stretch goals that we've put up on the page. I see BJ, Board Game Gumbo, yeah, baby, has jumped in, and he's first mention, Baseball Highlights 2045. Oh, yeah, baby. Those of you that know, I am now the holder of the Commissioner Ralph Trophy, and that doesn't mean a whole lot. This and 25 cents will get me a cup of coffee at McDonald's. But that being said, I love Baseball Highlights 2045, and we worked out a deal with Eagle Griffin Games where they were so gracious to allow us to make the Baseball Highlights 2045 tournament mat. It's a nice 24-inch by 32 mat, but we're doing it in Game Topper style with 3 millimeter dense neoprene with the double stitched edge and a game mat. And we're blowing these babies out for $39. These have been sold out for a long time. So those that are in that Baseball Highlights 2045 group are gonna love this, and it's my favorite 2-player game, so I love this to death. Super excited about that. Yeah, Ralphie likes it too. You got to have some fun in this thing, right? I mean, okay, we're a producer of game stuff now. Maybe this is a small item, but it was something for me, something I enjoy. I love that game. I honestly do. Mike Fitzgerald's an amazing designer. Love him. And it honestly is just, I'll play it anytime. You ever see me and we've got the game, I'm in. So that being said, we're going to run down to some stretch goals. I guess we've got a question here.
Yep. Kevin asks, what is everyone's favorite mat for Scythe from the current choices? So not including the new mats on the 4.0 campaign, he's saying. I might think I fall into the category of liking a mat that is more simplistic, even though you have a Scythe-inspired mat. Does anyone have good picks to share of their favorite choice?
You know, when we first did that, we got permission from Jamie Stegmeyer, and he was so gracious to let us do that, Matt. I knew he had a table from a different company, actually, but I knew the size of it. And so we actually made him a mat in his size. And when we sent it to him, Jamie called me back, actually. He goes, Berkey, you nailed it. He said, I couldn't have made this any better. And that mat is one of the busier mats that we have. But it's weird how that color palette is so nice and neutral all the way through. We played games like Stone Age on it, and we played Scythe on it, and it just elevated the whole gaming experience. It didn't take away from anything. And we call it resource mat also because there's all kinds of resources where they're chopping wood and they're doing things, you know, collecting normal Euro type of game, resources. And it's kind of amazing how good that looks. And even with the board that goes over the top of that, generally we're keeping the art assets around the edge of the mats. And I'm really curious. I kind of have an idea from a sales standpoint, which mats are the most popular because we know what we sell, but we all have our favorites. And I would love to hear what everybody thinks because the last 20 mats we've done, honestly, I feel are very stellar quality mats. There's nothing taking away from them just because we've offered new ideas. So you're going to have a ton of choices. And personally, I'm a big fan of that Viking and Pirate mat. I love them to death, but I love all of them. They're like my kids. So, so with that, we're going to move on to some of the stretch goals and things that we've unlocked. I'm going to quickly go through a couple of the unlocked things, and then we're going to talk about some new things that are coming down the road. I don't have all of the stretch goal pricing for everything completed graphically and or where the campaign is going to end up. So there's going to be some modulation there, but we hope that our stretch goals will be unlocked and we continue to gain momentum. We have a lot of media people talking about our products. We have lots of advertising out there. We've got lots of friends and backers that we hope you will share this campaign so that we can do more. If you know, we can only do as much as you allow us to do, basically. So it helps us a lot to be able to create these products. And so we're very appreciative and grateful for that. And we would definitely covet that. BJ said he just bought the Scythe Adventure and Locket mats for, we maybe better not say who he bought it for in case they're listening. Okay, topper packages. This is really cool. This is an accessory bundle where you're going to get these small coasters that fit in the bottom of the collapsible cup holders, so you can put a large cup or you can put a large water bottle. In addition, we have these dice accessories trays that have the legs that go on the rail. It also lets you store your bits, but this also accommodates our dice tower. And we're having a bundle sale with that dice tower and corral that you can add after the fact at a discounted price. But we also have slots where these player shields go in. So some of the games have hidden components like Sheriff of Nottingham. You don't want people to know how much coin you have or whatever. That's included in there. In addition, there's some covers for the cup holders. Those are laminated cardboard covers, but it allows it to make a tray. So if you have your notebook or your rules or other things you want to place on top of the cup holders, that whole package is like $120. I think it's kind of like a must-have type of thing, but we've unlocked that now, and that's included with every package. Now, every package has got a whole bunch of stuff in it. The cup holders, the premium storage bags. These aren't just little flimsy pieces of fabric. These are heavy-duty, padded, reinforced handles, double reinforced, heavy-duty zippers. I mean, these bags hold up extremely well and handle the weight for traveling, storage, whatever. They're like $149 bags, and we don't make a lot of money on those bags. They're that expensive to produce because they're so big. Nonetheless, you get all of that stuff at a savings compared to buying things extra. But the additional value to these packages are all these stretch goals on this campaign. I really put a lot of effort in. How can I bring extra value? How can I really do something special? We're going to be unlocking other things in those packages. For instance, if we go down to the Sherlock Holmes Young Sherlock package, you're going to see here this particular package that includes 4 cup holders, where the other packages have 2 of the big double cup holder trays also. But you're getting all those stretch goals, but we're going to be unlocking extra mats for only $50, where normally they would cost between $70 and $129. You're going to get one for $50. In addition, that game tote, that's a big deal. These are awesome game tote bags. The black game tote bags that we have, people love them. They're insulated, nicely zippered. They stack great. We normally sell them for $25. You're going to get one of those free. Our new dice accessory tray, or excuse me, our Game Topper Game Bank accessory bank has this really nice turntable. And we've got those. So this whole package is like $29. These are really cool. And they even sit on the end of your rails and for the corners, so to speak. And that's a $29 value. And then we've got this really cool medallion that we're going to talk about more in the future. And this is like a $250 value, all this stuff. So not only you're getting a good deal on the package, you're going to get all this other stuff. So it's really a great time to buy a package. All right, we're going to move all the way down to our stretch goals and talk about that a little bit. Of course, we have the early bird specials have been unlocked for the first 25 packages of the Scotland Yard Standard and the Baker Street in the US and Canada. We have the Young Sherlock leg kit. And we have a bunch of people. I want to stop on this one for a second. A couple of people have asked, hey, I already have a Lestrade or a Holmes topper, and I have a Watson topper. Well, half of that Holmes topper is a Lestrade. Half of the Watson is the Hudson. So could I get a bundle with if I buy a rail package where we get a rail, a mat, and a rail bag, but I want this leg kit too. Can we do a bundle? And I got thinking about it. I thought, yeah, I think I can do that. The only problem is I've already made these packages really attractive price rate. I've discounted things a lot. Our prices have gone up. I can tell you the last 3 years, prices have not gone down. Okay. I've wanted to keep all my prices the same. I've actually on this Kickstarter campaign reduced the prices on most of the stuff. There's several items that have gone up quite a bit. So I'll have to see how much I can make a discount. But I'm listening, and I think that might be a really cool idea. The double mat bundle. This is the way to go. If you just want 2 mats, this here, you're going to get 2 free mat bags. It's awesome. Plus, you're getting a savings on the mats compared to buying them individually. And you're getting a discounted shipping rate of only $15 for 2 mats, which is crazy. We also have early fulfillment to the US and Canada on some of those mat bundles. The Designer Art Series topper, watch that video. This thing is awesome. I'm telling you, this is a cool thing. There's going to be a lot of upgrades in the future where you can even swap out the rails. So if you're buying this topper, it doesn't always have to just be this designer art series. There's going to be options in the future, but super awesome from Brent Woodside. Love this art. It's gorgeous. I'm going to go quickly here, but the Mycroft dining covers unlocked. Awesome. You can pledge for that. Our Starfield mat. And you can click on these pictures and you can see a compilation videos of all the different games we said. Josiah spent hours and hours setting up games, and I spent hours and hours making video so we could show you cool stuff on all of these mats so you get an idea of what it looks like on a Watson topper. Our new double tote bag is unlocked. That's super cool. We've got some new mat storage bags. The Baker Street Irregulars. Oh my goodness. This is an awesome, I love this storage solution because so many people have so many mats and they don't know what to do with them, don't know where to store them. They get crumpled up. You can't see them. We have our nice clear bag. This is an $89 value. We're doing for $49. And you're seeing, we're going to get to it, but we're going to offer a 14 by 24 inch play mat that's normally $29 for $20 on this campaign. But we're also going to give you one of those with this package at $49 if it gets unlocked. Amber Scarf did this amazing nature mat. It's gorgeous. We also unlocked the dice accessory tray, or the game topper game bank with the turntable. And then if you already have that bank from our last campaigns, you can just get the turntable and we're discounting it for $10. So a crazy good deal. The Desert Dune mat is unlocked. Likewise, awesome. The accessory pack. The Mars mat is unlocked. Beautiful. The Ancient Egypt just got unlocked. And, of course, the Baseball Highlights 2045. And then next thing that we're going to try to get unlocked today, hopefully, is the Lost Worlds mat by Vincent Dutray. This art is gorgeous. You're going to love that. We're also have 125,000. This is where you get that extra mat with the storage bag. This is like up to $149 value for $50. Okay, really good deal. This is the play mat, the 24-inch by 14-inch play mat in crimson red or in black with our premium double stitched edge 3mm mats. That's going to include a play mat bag with it, and it's going to be the bag that has the Velcro on the back, so it will attach to your Baker Street Irregular caddy. And a lot of people have been asking about the rail bundle. This is where you get the rail that can convert half of your topper into a mini topper. And you're going to get the smaller game mat. You're also going to get a double mat storage bag with that. And those are available in standard, luxuriant oak, and premium walnut. And those prices are discounted significantly. This has been a big topic of questions. People wanting the XL, going, hey, I already have an XL. Like Raymond, you've got an XL.
Yep. What
mats can we get on this campaign? And currently, we have planned to offer the Desert Dunes, which is an amazing mat, the Battleground, and the Mars mat in an XL size. There's a possibility we may unlock a couple more. I need your feedback. A lot of people want the water mat. A lot of people also want that Starfield. And so that's a distinct possibility if I can get some demand and feedback whether or not this is desirable. We'd love to offer whatever you want. So those are some opportunities. And then the XL leaf bundles. This is one of these items. The bags cost a lot. We're including that bag. That's a $59 storage bag. It's heavy duty padded, reinforced zipper, makes it easy to store your leaf if you're using your topper in a smaller size, but it also allows for nice travel. You get the XL game mat. These are our most expensive mats. You don't see anybody out there making an 8-foot mat. From my understanding, I think Game Toppers is the only one doing it. This provides you with that really large footprint mat. They're expensive for us. I've discounted those prices significantly. And like I said, prices have gone up. Our walnut prices went way up. The aluminum went up 2 different times during the pandemic. So we have limited amount of these, but I'm still making a bundle available. And you can see that there. But we're going to be sweetening the pot to this particular goal by doing some things with XL mats in the future. So stay tuned on that. That'll even help you with this decision. If you want to go XL, that you can get some extra XL mats at favorable pricing for you. And this one here is an amazing package. If you do the math, and trust me, I did the math, this is a crazy good deal. This includes the 4-hole J.J. Burkton mat rack. This is a $189 retail mat. Our mat rack. We sell it for, I think on this campaign, $129 as a sale price, which it's normally the $149, I think, sale on our store. But you essentially, when you add up everything up, you're getting 4 of these mats at the double mat bundle price, plus almost getting this whole rack free. So it's a crazy good deal. If you want 4 mats, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
This is another a stretch goal that we've had a lot of requests for 30-inch by 72 mat to put on top of those plastic 30-inch lifetime tables. I was just on a show with Brandon from the All Aboard Gamer last night, and he said exactly this for this convention that they hold. He said, if you made a 30-inch, and I said, oh, we just put the stretch goal up. So we're going to make this available in the crimson red, and we may offer it in the black in the future. We'll see what happens about that. But we're blowing this thing out for $79, including the bag. It's pretty cool. Dice Tower bundles where you're getting 2 of them and saving $50. So that's a huge savings. The water mat is coming. A lot of these other mats, the Old West, will be unlocking them. You can look at these videos, the horror mat and the battleground mat. But then our dining covers. A lot of people are wondering, how do I back that dining cover in the a la carte for Holmes and Watson? You just go ahead and do that there. But Mycroft has its own pledge level. But these bags are expensive bags. They have 5 different padded dividers in there. So each leaf is each section is protected. The edges, it's a heavy duty bag. It's an expensive bag. They're retail for $79, $59 on sale. We're going to include one of these bags free with every dining cover. So you might go, well, wow, that's some money to buy that dining cover. And yeah, it is. But these are super high quality, high resin, powder coated dining covers. And this bag is high quality, and you're going to get that as an additional value. So we're doing everything we can to sweeten the pot and make this really good for you. And in keeping with that, we had a whole bunch of people saying, I want 6 mats, and I want that really nice Lord Burkton mat rack that has 6 holes. It has the 2 metal rods so you can drape your smaller mats. It's a $300 mat rack. We sell for $249. On this campaign, you're going to get it for $199. But guess what? The pricing, when you do the math on this, is the mats are at the double mat stretch goal pricing. Plus that rack, if you do the math, you're almost getting that mat rack free, which is crazy. I really pulled out the stops on this. So I'm losing a lot of margin, but I figure if you're going to buy 6 mats, I'm going to do something really cool for you. That is an amazing value. So back that with confidence. And that was a lot to talk about. I feel like I've been droning on here. So I'm very excited about all these options. And I was just on the Isle of Boom with Lance Meister and Scott Alden and some of the crew there on Wednesday night. And I was so tired. This is so exhausting. And I was getting ready to go to bed, telling my wife, I said, I am so friggin' tired. it's a grueling thing. And I said, but I really should go on the Alaboom. I haven't been on for a while. I need to talk to these guys. And I went on and started talking about a few things, and they started asking me about our mats, and then they talked about mat bundles. And before you know it, I'm just excited. I'm just going on about these mats and these bundles, and oh, you should see what we got coming up. And everybody started giggling and laughing, and they were just, because I was giggling and laughing, and here I was at one moment so tired, and then all of a sudden I'm so excited about we did something cool that I really believe in, and I think people will love. And they were just totally digging it. So it was a nice moment.
A couple comments and questions we'll go through quick catch up on. Rob said, wood mat is the one I use the most. Many people think it's actually wood until they try and pick up a card from it and they get startled.
Yeah.
We are adding probably 4 to 6 mats. The pirate mat seems to glow.
It's gorgeous. That pirate mat, that Caribbean type of, we could not have gotten the printing better and the artwork better from Yaroslav. Amazing. And it's likewise on his new Egypt mat that he did for us. His stuff is amazing.
Kevin says, are the privacy screens made of cardboard or plastic?
They are cardboard, but they have a heavy laminate on them. But they are a cardboard type of product, so they're not super expensive, but they function real nice.
And James asks, number 1, is the Young Sherlock literally the Lestrade plus shorter leg kit, or is there a difference? 2, does the Lestrade have a different subset of printed mats available at that size?
That's a great question.
So yes, the Young Sherlock is the Lestrade with the shorter leg kit attached. And you can make the Lestrade by taking half of a home size topper and adding the extra accessory rail. That actually gives you the 36 by 36 Lestrade. And then if you attach the small leg kit, that's what we are referring to as the Young Sherlock.
And you can do that with your Watson also. Half Watson is the Hudson, which would be a Young Sherlock. But of course, we're all about variety and meeting customer demand. To my chagrin, honestly, Josiah laughs at me about it because it's like, yeah, but they're going to want this. And it's like, where are we going to put it is his thought. How are we going to ship this? And I'm like, I don't care. Let's just get it. We have about, I do care. We do have about 14 styles of Lestrade and mats. And I think with this campaign, we're adding 6, if I remember right. So we're going to have somewhere around 20 styles available in those smaller sizes. So a lot of variety.
In past campaigns, we have had a chart near the bottom of the page that shows what mats we have available in what sizes. And we're preparing that as well here for this campaign. We've just been waiting a bit till some of these stretch goals got announced and unlocked so that the graphic makes sense and isn't confusing. But that'll be on the page within the next couple of days, probably, or early next week.
It's like when you look at our campaign, there's so much information. I have close to 46 stretch goals planned right now. So I have a lot more to come and a lot more gamer goodness. But then also I'm listening to all of our backers, things that they might want. So, I mean, we could do 50 things maybe. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of information to digest because our product line is very wide. We have so many options, and we could have just done a simple campaign and said, here's the one thing we're doing, and back it. And then the rest of the stuff you can just go to our store and buy. But it was like, no, we want to make this a customer loyalty thing too, so that when we go to Kickstarter, you're going to get some really good deals on stuff. And if you already own stuff, you can get all the add-ons at a favorable price and all of that.
And then James says, thirdly, can you remind me of which dining cover works for the Lestrade / Young Sherlock? I know you mentioned it, not using all the pieces. Yes, and that is the Holmes dining cover is designed to fit the Holmes topper. So if you actually take some of those center sections out, you will then be able to fit the smaller Lestrade. However, we have decided that we're going to be offering a specific add-on in the Pledge Manager for the Adler or the Lestrade dining covers that if you don't want those extra sections, that you don't have to get them. We're still figuring out the exact details of what that'll look like price-wise, etc. But that seems to be something that you guys want. And so we've taken that feedback and we're going to make that available for you.
It's going to be easy enough for us to do it. It's just a little complicated because we have the product packaged and with the specific storage bags and the specific packing solution that we're offering. We're going to have to dismantle that and find out another packaging solution. So there's a little bit of extra work and cost to repackaging some things. And so that's why it's not necessarily the easiest thing, but it's definitely doable. But that's why we don't sell that many Adler toppers and we don't sell that many Lestrade compared to our Watson, Holmes, and Mycrofts. Those are our flagship toppers and we sell tons of those. So there's a lot of demand there, but it's really hard for us to go just make 20 or 50 table topper, dining covers. That it just doesn't work that way in the manufacturing world. So we have to figure it out, but we're going to do our best for you.
And Kevin says, on your new Lazy Susan offering, does that somehow attach to the accessory bank or does it just rest on top of the Lazy Susan?
No, great question. It actually, we have these adhesive tabs that actually attach to the bottom of your game bank. And then that flat surface of the turntable just sticks to it. And it's really sticky. I mean, it stays on there really nicely, super simple. You'll love that.
And that has us caught up with comments. Thank you, Raymond, for sitting.
That's just what I was thinking.
No problem. I actually do also have a question about. You were going through the stretch goals, and you were talking about the 4 and 6 mat bundles that come with the racks. Is there a size chart for those mats that you can select as well, so people know which mats they can actually? There is the Adler, Watson, Holmes, and Mycroft. Those are the standard sizes. Is there also an option for XL sizes for those tables?
Love that. That's one of the future stretch goals, depending on what happens with the whole XL mat deal. So if we find out that people want certain ones, we're going to figure out those bundle prices, and then we're going to find out what we can do to offer it as a discounted price. What most likely is going to happen, we'll figure out a double mat bundle for the XL mats. That will give people that buy the XL bundles an additional savings for their extra mats. The current backers that already have XL, like yourself, will give you a discount on those mats. In addition, we'll be able to take that formula so that we carry on that discount plus them getting the huge value of those mat racks. And again, that'll be kind of a demand thing. When we start going into that 6 mat rack and me giving away almost a $200 mat rack, we need to do some numbers to pay for that. So I can't just give away everything. Eventually I have to make money in order for us to be here. But at the same point, I'm just like everyone else. I put my pants on 2 legs at a time, and and I like to save money, and I love a deal, and I feel that, and that's really, really what I'm trying to do here. So.
James says, appreciate this Q&A greatly and how personable you all are. This pushed me over the edge to press the go button for my second table. Already have the Holmes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope this is helpful. Sometimes I don't like hearing myself, actually, and yet I've got a lot of information to communicate. And we hope that this does help people see who we are as manufacturers, who we are personally, and our commitment to providing these upgrades, the commitment to providing high quality and then servicing it. If you go online, I encourage you, if you're looking for a table and you don't know what to get, please go on and ask people about game toppers. See if you can find anybody that has negative things to say. I'm not aware of any. I know we're not perfect. I know there's other options, and that's awesome. I always tell people, hey, do what's best for you. If this doesn't seem like the thing you want, God bless you. I got no problem with that. If you want to get a high-end $10,000 wormwood table, go do it. If you can afford it, it's awesome. They're beautiful. I have no problem with that at all. This is what we do, and we try to do it the best we can, and we hope that it's an option that fits a lot of needs. And so far, people have been really, really grateful for it. And I think our reputation shows, and we've proven that we really do go to a lot of deep ends to take care of everybody.
Kevin says, I wholeheartedly agree. These Q&As have me stoked to add so many more options. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm excited about a lot of things that we're going to do in the future on this campaign. You know, I'm hoping that we can continue to gain some momentum. There's a long time left. So, you know, there's still another 31 days of stretch goals to be unlocked. The last 3 or 4 days of the campaign, we're going to be doing a lot of marketing blitzes, and you tend to have a big jump at the end of the campaign also. So we want people to continue to help us, you know, gain momentum, of course. And one of the best ways you can do that is to continue to share your positive feedback in social media, share our links. You'll see Facebook advertising, in Instagram, Twitter, different things. If you see a reviewer we've got a bunch of reviewers there that use our product. Go check them out and reshare their videos on your social media feeds. Tell your friends, tell your family. We love that. That really helps. So, and that helps us do better things for you. So it's not just about us. It's really about us creating and continuing to create these awesome upgrades. Yeah.
Well, that has us caught up there. It seems like Raymond had to step away for just a moment, so I'm sure he'll be back.
There was a couple of things that I was going to mention about some commonly asked questions. We've had people that have asked about how do they add to their pledge. You know, if they pledge for a package, can they still get the add-ons? Can you explain that a little bit, Josiah, again? I know we've talked about it at times, but.
Yes. So when you pledge for any pledge level in Kickstarter, there's a box where it says you can add additional amounts. And so you can actually add any dollar amount there to account for anything you may be wanting to add in the pledge manager. So we've listed all of our graphics, the prices of everything, what it's in during this campaign. As they get unlocked, we move them to the appropriate places on the pages. So those are the pricing for all those items you'll be able to select in the pledge manager. So you can always add those funds up front during the Kickstarter campaign to help us keep unlocking more stretch goals, keep getting that momentum. But in addition, we are going to be actually allowing you to select add-ons shortly in the Kickstarter campaign as well. So that will help out as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of options in that pledge manager. By pledging in the campaign, it's going to give you a lot of options. You're going to see it. And Josiah honestly does a really good job with BackerKit. Our graphics are simple to read. He does a great job in how it's displayed so that it's going to be intuitive. It's going to be easy for you to add on what you want. It's going to ask you some questions at some point. Sometimes it gives you a pull-down menu of all the options that you have, and it's going to make it pretty simple for you to add on.
Kevin says, please keep us informed when you upgrade the Kickstarter to further define exactly what we would like to order. Yes, for sure. We will include all the information in a Kickstarter update that will go to all the backers who've already pledged to the campaign, letting everyone know exactly the changes that we've made, what you can do. So that'll be all clearly defined, and I'm sure we'll also go over it in our future Q&As as well. So,
yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to put out, this is one way of me communicating with the backers, but I also put out updates. And so after this, I'll post this link so people can view it from an update, so they actually get an email notification. Sometimes you don't always come back to the campaign right away. So I plan on doing quite a few updates, and I try to keep them short and sweet and that kind of thing. But this is one of the things that I think we probably will answer a lot of people's questions if they listen to this. And I know takes a lot of time, but one of the other questions that has been brought up, or I should say feedback, it has been formed in a question too, but we're having a lot of people asking me about our white terrain mat that we offered on the 2.0 and I think we did that on the first campaign, maybe even. with the terrain green. I love that mat. It just didn't sell very well, but back in the day, 2017, the only game that was really out there on a snow field was end of winter was a really big dead of winter. Excuse me, dead of winter was really big, and then there was like Snow Tales and a couple games out there, but it still looked awesome. Your games popped off of it. It was a great map. And then some work games, where when Memoir 44 came out, they had a winter, Overlord battleground mat, I think. Well, anyway, now that there's so many new games like Frosthaven and Frostgrave with Warhammer, and you've got games like Endless Winter, people are been really asking about this, and I'm all in. If you guys want this terrain mat, and we could maybe even talk to our graphics guy, we could maybe even add some touches of light blue or something just to add a little bit more dynamic to it, even so it's current. I'm all in. I would love to hear everybody's feedback if they'd like that mat. Excellent. And maybe that's a good opportunity for an XL idea even. It's possible that we can do that. So I see that Raymond is back with us here, and we want to give a little bit of time to talk to Raymond about Board Game Heaven and the things that you're doing. Tell us a little bit about Board Game Heaven and what you're doing in the hobby.
Oh, gladly. So Board Game Heaven basically started as, well, it is still a hobby, but I started with taking pictures at board gaming conventions that I visit locally. And at some point, I went to Spiel for the first time. I think it was 2015. And I brought my camera and I took a lot of pictures. And at the time, I would just like to basically post those pictures online like people do on Facebook and stuff, and write a little report on that, on what I did there and what I saw and all the new games. And that kind of grew into making a video report, because that's easier to watch than, going through all those pictures or clicking a lot. Then you can just turn on the video and watch it. And at some point, I started doing some videos about games. I started with some unboxings, then I did some reviews, and back when I started, I still did them in Dutch because I was just trying some stuff out. And after a few videos, and they got watched, and I was like, well, maybe this is a fun thing to do more. And then I decided to start doing them in English, because then you can get a broader audience. And that kind of just kept growing. That snowball just kept rolling and rolling. And then at some point, I started doing interviews with publishers at those conventions, and they very much enjoyed that. And they were very appreciative of having some publicity posted online and doing, talking about their latest games. They're always very excited about that, of course. So that's also a lot of fun for me to do. I really like to see people being very enthusiastic about this stuff, and because they're so happy about it, so thankful, they will share it as well, which helps your channel. So it's a bit of a, one hand washes the other. And well, yeah, and then I started getting review copies from those publishers. Would you like to review our game? I said yes, of course, I would love to. And so it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's still a hobby. I'm still doing this as in my free time next to my regular job. So I do them for free as well. I don't charge for my reviews. I do them for free so I can give my honest, unbiased opinion. And but I do kind of select the games that I enjoy. If I see something I like, then that is something I will likely review as well. So I do get a lot of positive reviews, but I will, on occasion highlight the few things that I think could have been better or something. So I try to stay objective, and it's just been a lot of fun. And now, after almost 8 years, I think a lot of publishers start to know you, and
Mhm.
they see you walking on the conventions. And like I said, I have this vest with pins on it. I have a vest that I wear in my review videos, and I always wear it when I go to conventions. And it started with a few pins that I had just from popular culture, like a Ghostbuster pin and a Batman pin and stuff like that, Super Mario. I just like them, and I put them on my vest. But then publishers have their own pins, and they were like, "Hey, would you like a pin of our company?" I said, "Sure." And it started just filling up. The thing is heavy as heck right now, but it's
It's
full of
like
pins.
armor.
Yeah, exactly. It is like armor, yeah. And yeah, I have buttons and pins of publishers and of board games, and that makes you recognizable as well. People see you walking with it, and hey, that's the guy from Board Game Heaven. And now it's just so much fun to every year when I go to Spiel or to the local conventions that people know you, and they ask if you come by the booth and maybe shoot a little video or talk about their latest game. It's fantastic. It's
Yeah,
just
it's so
very
much fun.
rewarding.
I
It's
definitely
super
need
fun.
to get you one of our Game Toppers ceramic pins.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I'll certainly make a little space for that. So it's on
Well,
camera.
if those of you that listening, if you've not heard Board Game Heaven before, man, I can't recommend them enough. Raymond, his video quality and his rules explanations and his thoughts are, I mean, he's really good. He's very thoughtful about how he presents it. He's very concise. He's very clear. He's way better than communicates way better than me. I mean, it's really nice. So I'd highly recommend you check out his channel at Board Game Heaven
Thank you
because
very
it's
much.
really, really fun stuff.
Thank you very much. And I actually I just put up I have a secondary camera, and I pointed it towards my topper so I can actually show you. Let me see if I can do that.
Cool.
There we go.
See how he is? Look at him.
There it
There,
is.
look at this.
I'll just tilt it to the left a little bit for you there. Oh, there we
There
go.
he's got that awesome base that he
So,
built.
yeah. So that's the head of the table that you see there. That's one 2x2 Kallax. And I just filled it with games. And I have two in the middle and one at the other head of the table with the 22 millimeter MDF board on top, just screwed into the top. I left off the top shelf of the Kallax shelves. So basically what you see on the bottom there, the floor, is usually also on the top. I left those out, replaced that for a full board, and just put the topper on top, and it sits there really nicely. And that is the Holmes XL. And I put the wood grain mat on it because it matches the floor nicely. It just looks really good. And that's where I shoot my videos. That's the banner on the wall there, and I got my lighting, and I got my phone clip already there. So for making Instagram quick videos and reels, and yeah, so that's where I work and where I have my game nights as well. And that's the vest there on the on the chair as well.
I love that. We're getting a sneak peek behind the curtain, baby.
Yeah,
It's an
exactly.
awesome setup. I love it.
Yeah, I love that topper. It's just so good. I'm so happy with it.
Well, when you just got back from the big Essen Spiel Fair, right?
Yep.
What were some of the highlighted experiences and maybe highlighted game that you saw there?
Oh boy, there was a whole lot. They changed up the halls this year, so there were a whole bunch of cool and also indie publishers in Hall 3, which is one of the bigger halls that you enter. And they put the more well-known, bigger publishers in one of the halls in the back, in Hall 6, I believe. So they had like Asmodee, if I'm not mistaken. So all the publishers you knew were there, but the first ones you saw as you got in, there were a lot of indie publishers there, and I really liked that. And they attracted a lot of people. And one of them was Mood Publishing. And I remember that name because I thought I had never heard of them as a publisher before, but I remembered a game called Rise of the Necromancers, which is a kind of a dudes on the map kind of game, which is like an advanced Risk, if you will. It's still relatively light, but it's more involved than Risk, and it has a really cool theme, really beautiful artwork. And it was done at the time by Sore Losers Games, who don't exist anymore, but I think they are from Denmark. And they published that game, and all of their art was done by Mood Publishing. So I thought, I know this name. So I went by the booth, and they had a big booth, lots of tables. So they now also have games that they're publishing. And I'll grab the box, actually. One of them was Deep Rock Galactic from the video game. So I have it right here. It's a huge box. Ugh. Let me just sit down and grab that. That was a huge box, and they were playing it there. They were demoing it, and I think they have a Kickstarter right now, or their final days. Ugh. It is a massive box, and that really caught my attention. Yeah, here it is. So as you can see, that is a tall box.
Goodness.
And, has lots of components. I just did an unboxing last week, so I just kept the shrink wrap on the lid for as a dust cover, basically. And that looked really cool. And I knew about the video game. Haven't played it yet. I've seen it played, and it's a cooperative game as well. I didn't know. I thought that was a competitive game, but it's a cooperative game. And I love that. So yeah, I took some videos of that. And I brought home a copy to review as well. So that was cool. They also had a arena versus battler called Battle of Gods, in which you play like Nordic deities like Thor and such, and with huge, big, chunky miniatures as well. So that looked also really cool. So that caught my eye. That was really cool. Well, there was, of course, the more well-known publishers. There was the Dixit Disney edition that is popular right now. I love that. I love the art. I have a lot of Dixit games right there. I have have all of it. I have Dixit Odyssey, Stella, and all the expansions. So Dixit Disney is definitely a game that I am looking forward to try and pick up. And what else was there? There were a whole bunch of cool new miniatures games. There was a game called Dante. I think it's just called Dante. From let's see, I have the card right here. Creative Game Studios. So this logo, you may have seen them right there. Creative Game Studios, who have done Chronicles of Drunagor dungeon crawler in the past, and they had an expansion called Apocalypse that's being shipped, I think, currently. And now they had a new game called Dante, and that was a very popular booth as well. I saw King of Average there. He was playing the game as well as I passed by, so I said hi, which is also fun about Spiel, that you see people from all over the world that you usually only see on YouTube or whatever. And you can actually spot them there and have a chat, and that's super fun. So that the whole social aspect is actually one of the biggest draws as well, aside from seeing all the cool new games for going to Spiel. It's just so much fun.
I find it very interesting because I have a podcast with Barry Doublet, who lives in France, and the Berkey and Badger Board Game Battle Show. And we haven't done an episode here for almost a month because I've been so busy with this campaign, but we're going to be doing one here in a couple weeks. But he's always talking about all these new games that we don't, as Americans in USA, we don't always see them right away. And you guys are getting a lot of times a preview of the game getting produced, especially if it's a European, origin, or publisher. And so it always fascinates me, all these titles that I hear that sound really cool, but I haven't heard of them even. And normally I feel like I'm on top of, I kind of know what's going on in the hobby, but it always surprises me when I hear some of these titles. I hadn't heard of that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much. There's always titles and even publishers that I haven't heard about, and I'm constantly busy and working on these things. So I see a lot of new novelties, but there's always stuff at Spiel that's completely new, that surprises you, and it's just amazing. It's huge, one big discovery.
Well, I'm hoping that next year we'll be able to go to the Spiel and be a exhibitor. We'll see how that all happens, but we have some plans for the future that particularly will help with shipping and logistics of our large packages, because currently it's a troublesome situation and it's just very expensive. We don't want to charge people a lot of money for shipping. We don't want to. We don't make any money on shipping. In fact, we lost a lot of money on shipping. If we showed you what has happened to us with shipping, you'd be surprised. But people don't always understand that. So it's like, I don't want to whine about it either. But the truth is, shipping has been a problem. Our small packages we're able to do really well in Europe, just like we are able to do here. But our large packages are a little bit of a troublesome situation. We can still do it. It's just an associated cost. So we're going to make that available to European backers in our late pledge and different things. But we hope in the future we've got some answers to that are going to really help us be more prolific in Europe. And hopefully with your help and others, we're going to be able to expand Game Topper Nation into Europe and do good there.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, I don't see that we have a lot more questions, and it's starting to get a little long here, so we want to let you go, Raymond. But I want to thank all the backers for your continued support, your continued sharing. Thank you for your words of encouragement. It helps us. It honestly does. We really appreciate it. And Raymond, I can't thank you enough. You've been so kind to us. You've helped us throughout the years. You've always been one of our best supporters, and continue to give of your own time to help us. And I just want to thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It's super fun to do.
Yeah.
And you have a great product. I mean, I use it in my videos and it just makes the video look so much more professional. It's just, just looks
Where
great.
can people find you?
www.boardgameheaven.eu. That's the YouTube channel. You can also find me on Instagram. Just look for BG_heaven. And I'm on Twitter on the same name as well. And I'm on Facebook. You can also just search on Facebook for Board Game Heaven, and you'll find me. And I'm also on Board Game Geek. I'll post all my videos there on the game pages. So I'm pretty easy to find. You can just Google Board Game Heaven and you'll very likely find me.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Raymond. Thank you, everybody else. And with that, we're just going to sign off, and we'll be seeing you next week with another guest, Sam Healy from the flip side of board gaming. We'll see you later, all. Thank you.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye.